Hello, Jaime here from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today a platform pop-up with the reveal wheel center. I am using, again, the Cute and Crafty Doodlebug Creations paper and my Ohuhu markers, and there is the color map that will be on my blog if you are interested. This is the second of at least 4 cards in my Just Add Glitter stamp set series. I am starting by putting together my base for my platform pop-up. If you want more detailed instructions, there are some other videos. I have a platform pop-up playlist if you are interested. Otherwise, for best instructions, go visit Kelly's post on the reveal wheel or on the platform pop-up on Lawn Fawn site, and that will probably give you a much better and more detailed description of how to put it together. I selectively cut and then die cut out one of the sheets of paper from the Cute and Crafty set for my front and back panel on my platform pop-up. This allowed me to hand pick what I wanted, and I only used, a half a sheet of 6x6 paper instead of, wasting 2 sheets. I get a little bit more mileage out of it. The base platform pop-up paper is the pink from All the Dots from Lawn Fawn 6x6 paper pack. I thought the colors on that one went perfectly with the Cute and Crafty colors. And yes, lining up sometimes is beyond me. I think I was off just a hair and it just didn't want to go quite like it was supposed to. So sometimes peeling it off and starting over is what you gotta do. I did take some of the scraps from when I cut out the platform pop-up to cut out the little hills for my platform here. And they blend in so well with the base that you can't really even see them unless you're, when you're looking at it. So that was kind of cool. And then you will see up on top there is 2 sheets, or there is a sheet, it's actually 2 sheets, of a light teal color. That will be where my reveal wheel is going to sit in. And I did 2 sheets and I die cut them at the same time for the purpose of my reveal wheel getting in the middle. I actually watched Kate at Kate Crafts on YouTube's video. She kind of threw out a challenge for adding the reveal wheel to the platform pop-up. It was already on my mind, but it was good to watch hers because it kind of gave me a few ideas on how I could actually add it with, using the bigger wheel, and, kind of gave me some of those troubleshooting tips, or, let me work it out a little bit better in my head. I do leave this in at about 1.25% of filming speed. So if you want a pop-up video of this one, let me know. Right now I'm not planning on it because I left it in here at about real time. But I'm kind of playing with the reveal wheel from Lawn Fawn. I didn't know for sure if it was going to fit. Kate ended up using a smaller circle because the reveal wheel doesn't fit inside of it. She actually put her brad on the inside of the platform pop-up, and I'm actually going to lift it up and out a little bit. But I wasn't sure it was going to work, so I also had a smaller scallop circle just in case. And if you don't have the reveal wheel, as long as you have a circle, especially one with a scallop on it, it would work just as well as the reveal wheel piece from Lawn Fawn. So I'm taking a piece of laminating sheet here because I like to be extra, and of course I couldn't just stamp images on a piece of cardstock, color it, and cut it out. From that, I need to laminate my images already colored and cut out on the inside so it's a clear see-through wheel. And I'm going to leave my mistake in here. I I think we learn from mistakes, and sometimes if somebody can learn from my mistake, I'm all for it. So I had restamped a whole bunch of the little Crafty images from the Just Add Glitter stamp set in a multitude of colors because I knew it probably wasn't going to work my first go around. I didn't want to just glue these on top of a piece of acetate or stick them because I was afraid that they were going to get caught in the platform pop-up, and by doing it through a laminated sheet, I knew that the images were going to be stuck on the inside and they wouldn't catch. My error here was probably that I didn't score my laminating sheet that I'd cut down to have a heavy score, and so it kind of buckled a little bit, and I was trying to run it through to get that buckle out, and I might have had my Glaminator set up to foil instead of laminate, and so it was too hot and it caught the third time through, and so I unplugged it. I took out my tweezers and wiggled it out. It was fine. I didn't have to actually tear my whole machine apart this time. Ask me how I know this. I might have had a cheap laminator that I had to do surgery on to get it to work again. Anyways, so I went back and I'm doing a larger sheet. Next time I think I could do a small sheet again, but I will throw it inside a piece of parchment paper for a larger carrier sheet so as not to worry about it. And I let my Glimmer machine cool down to the laminating setting and not the foil setting. I suppose there's probably certain rules for that for a reason, right? Probably. So I'm gonna do this again with crossed fingers and hope it works. I laid the die cuts underneath it so I could make sure that my images were all going to be contained within the circle. And of course I wanted them to be in the littler circle because I really wasn't sure if the bigger one was gonna pan out like I had hoped. So this time we ran it through a one shot, one and done, because it was set right, and yes, it turned out perfectly. So yeah, that other one was a little wrinkly. And then I will put some highlighter tape on the back of my die, lay it down right side up, and then I will just stick it to make sure that all of those pieces are contained within that circle. I'm double checking with the smaller circle that the hole will still be in the middle if I need to cut it down. And so all of my pieces are in the middle, contained within the laminated sheet, so I don't have to worry about them catching on anything on my reveal wheel. You could use a regular sheet of paper. You could also use acetate and some StazOn ink and do, I think Kate did the bubbles on the acetate sheet, which was really cute as well. And so because I want to keep the reveal wheel bigger, I need to pop it up and out of the center. So by doing the two sheets here, I can raise them up and I can actually put that brad that's going to turn above the center of the reveal wheel. Yes, my brad will show. There are ways to get around that. You could put an image over the top with some foam that would hide the brad underneath it. I wasn't worried about it because all of my images were crafty things, and to me a brad is a crafty item, so I really wasn't overly concerned with it being front and center on my finished card. So I'm going to take my little pokey tool here and a piece of, I guess, foam to poke my hole in the middle. I'm trying to make sure that it's fairly centered and it's going to be high enough up on my hill that I can still put my hill down and through. I could have made this a little bit longer, but it didn't need to be. I wasn't worried about anything catching on it. And so then I'm just going to take that second hill, and I probably wouldn't have even needed the second hill here. I had just done the second hill for stability reasons, and it's sandwiched in between the two, so I wasn't worried about things catching on the other. And so take that for what you want to take that for, I guess. So I'm just adding a little mini brad here. The mini brad that I used was from Recollections, I think. It was just a mini white brad, nothing special. And then making sure that it's going to spin freely and it has enough strength to that laminate sheet that it doesn't flop. I guess that was my bigger concern, was that it wasn't going to be strong enough. And because I wanted to make sure this is going to stay together as best as possible, I'm adding a little bit of liquid adhesive to the corners that the reveal wheel won't touch. So the biggest thing here is to keep in mind that your reveal wheel is not going to turn if you get anything on it that is going to make it stick. So double-sided adhesive, glue, anything that causes a disruption in that wheel turning is going to cause issues. So just keep that in mind while you're putting it together. And I am going to use some liquid adhesive with my double-sided tape. And then making sure that my reveal wheel is going to be far enough above. And so here's where I probably should have paid a little bit closer attention to where I was putting my double-sided adhesive on those paper sheets. I probably should have put it closer to the bottom. I wouldn't have to do it all the way to the bottom, but closer to the bottom that I could wiggle my room on it, because I ended up going a little bit higher with it than I had planned, so I could put adhesive on the bottom of my reveal or of my platform pop-up. And so I end up using an adhesive eraser off camera and my fingernail to get the little bit off that was sticking up over the back. It wasn't hindering the reveal wheel, it was just, I was afraid that it would stick to the platform pop-up when it was closed. And I'm going to do 2 layers of double-sided, or 1 layer on each side of the double-sided adhesive. I'm hoping this gives it just a little bit of a pop, I guess you could say. That because I have 2 layers of cardstock there and the reveal wheel, I wanted to make sure it was thick enough that it was going to give it a little bit more wiggle room. So it wasn't so tight. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's what I want to say. That it wasn't as tight. And then to make sure that I'm not going to hit, I'm going to make sure that my reveal wheel is above that bottom adhesive a little bit. And then I'm just playing with it a little bit, make sure it is centered. I don't think I was as centered as I wanted to be on the first one. And so by not pressing hard, I was able to just kind of pull it up a little bit and wiggle it, making sure my hill is fairly flat. And then because I know where the reveal wheel is going to sit, and yes, making sure your liquid adhesive does not go above where your platform pop-up is going to be put together. And then I'm just making sure to avoid the area where the reveal wheel turns or where the reveal wheel is sitting. And then I will peel that bottom adhesive off there, put some more liquid adhesive. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room if I need to lift it up and readjust, but it also makes sure that that is going to stick together well and it's not going to pull apart. Because I have an interactive piece in there and you're going to be playing with it a little bit, I always worry about that double-sided. At least here, sometimes it's in the winter when it's cold, things do not stick well with double-sided adhesive for a long time. It's dry. I don't know. It's what I know. So I'm going to add some more liquid adhesive to my double-sided adhesive on the other side, liquid tape, liquid glue on top of my double-sided adhesive. I can't talk today. And then I did leave a little bit of wiggle room on that one. It's not super tight over on the other side. I could have, it's not a thick enough center to hinder that. So now I'm just finishing up the rest of my card base. Now that my reveal wheel is in the middle, I know it is going to work. I need to finish laying out my card. So I'm using the little squares that are on one of the pieces of paper in that Cute and Crafty set. I'd cut a bunch of them and just figuring out which ones I wanted to add and playing with my leftover images. I really wanted to put that banner on there, I'm telling you. So I shopped my stash for a little critter that looked like it was lost in thought, because that was kind of where I was going with the theme for this one. This is me trying to think of my next card. So the reveal wheel turns, and that's my mind spinning. That's you know, the story behind my reveal wheel. So thinking of all of the crafty things that we can create with what we have, right? So I did take out a arrow stamp from MFT's Interactive Stamp set, and I'm just stamping that on the edge of the reveal wheel with some StazOn black ink. And then I will clean off that stamp right away with some StazOn ink remover. I don't clean up after myself often right away, but with StazOn, I try to make sure to do that pronto. So I'm adding my little thought little bunny there, and we can't have clear thoughts without a little bit of caffeine. Wine. I'm not telling you what's in that glass. Depends on the day and prevailing wind. I did add some double-sided adhesive to the bottom of my background platform pop-up panel here, and some liquid adhesive. And then once I get it to stay in there, it stays well. And then I'm going to add some, you know, some more interest to it, I guess, or add to the layers. It is a platform pop-up, so we have to have multiple layers, right? I'm just trying to figure out how tall I want them. I really didn't want them hanging out over the top of my platform piece or my platform add-on piece. And so I was just making sure that they were going to be within reason there. And I'm just using some of the leftover laminate sheet. And then I will add a little card and a little envelope to each one of these here. And then I will just play with these a little bit to get placement. I don't want them to cover up my background little pieces there that make time to make stuff, and the little other crafty type thingies on the back. And then just making sure it all looks right. And I was thinking I was done at that point, and then I decided I wanted to add a few more little crafty bits here and there. So I'm just adding some more of the little crafty items to the base of that reveal wheel. So no matter what's spinning around on top, there's also some, you know, definites there. The paintbrush, the paper, the glue, and the glitter, of course. And so I decided with glitter, we need some more glitter, right? So I'm adding some diamond stickles to, you know, random things around. Lots of the things get glitter. Even my little bunny here gets some glittery cheeks. And there is the finished project. I did cut out a piece of paper for the back. I like to use Fawn has one that works perfectly, and then I will put that on the back after I fill it out, so it makes it easier to write on. And there's the reveal wheel. The little bunny is thinking up, brainstorming some new crafty creations. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed so you can catch all of the new videos as they come out. And have a great day. Please keep getting inky, and we'll see you next time.